as a person, as a human, how do you resist pain?
Seek knowledge. You need to understand what is happening to you on the mental level.
Assalamu alaikum. This is yet another episode of the just concluded PUC 2024. But then I'll ask this question. A lot of people don't really believe in going for counseling because of their own belief. They don't believe in you carrying your problems to another person to discuss it. They feel it's like you bringing out your private life. And then I'll ask this, does going for counseling really means that you don't have faith in your Lord?
Whether or not seeking help for your mental health issues and going for counseling or therapy, whether it conflicts with faith in God. This was the crux of the panel discussion at the recently concluded PUC Convention Day 1, particularly the panel session by Coach Hawa Bello, Ustaz Abdul Fattah Adeyemi, Coach Aisha Adabiruku, Sheikh Wail Ibrahim. This was what they majorly discussed, and a lot of people had issues with that particular topic. It was tawakkul, mental health, and resilience. Is there a contradiction between them? And I remember Coach Wail Ibrahim defining resilience as that stage where you get to where you say, I have been patient, and then exercising a little bit more patience. He says that's resilience. Oh, okay. That resilience is that point in your struggle, in your challenge, where it feels like it's enough, but somehow you still try to endure and to be more patient again.
Okay. Look at this. And then again.
So that's what resilience is all about. Some people also define it as grit, the stamina to stand in the face of trial. So these were all the issues. And before she left, because Ustaz Taimiyya Zubair in the wellness hall, she gave a brief lecture and then left. But I remember her saying that seeking help for mental health issues, therapy, counseling, is not contradicting faith. It's not a contradiction of faith. She said in Islam, oppressed people are allowed to voice out their concerns, they are allowed to talk about their feelings, they are allowed to seek help. But she says we should know who we seek help from.
When you are struggling with something, please go to someone who loves you, who cares about you, who has the professional knowledge and the training to be able to offer you the right type of guidance.
Should we just publicize our matter and just talk to anyone, but people that can directly impact on us, to talk to the people that are directly involved, and then people that can help us to overcome the challenge. Okay. This was what she said. She also emphasized on dua, because she says dua is the essence of worship, which is very, very important.
Two things that we need to do when we find ourselves in any type of crisis: seek the right people to speak with. And secondly, make sure that you are complaining to Allah about your problem, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides you out of your problem, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens up ways for you and provides you the solutions that you need.
And when Coach Awabelo, was pressing the panelists to find out from them what do they think? Do they think it's in any way contradicting your belief in faith? I remember Ustaz Abdul Fattah Adeyemi saying that no, it doesn't. It's only that you should be cautious of therapist-dependent syndrome that some people are having.
Okay, so what's therapy?
He said therapist-dependent syndrome is where somebody is so reliant on his therapist for everything. He wants the therapist to heal him, to make him, to help him take every decision in life. But the therapist is supposed to empower you. It's supposed to help you to grow to the point where you can solve your ongoing challenges by yourself. But that if you rely on them too much, so he was just cautioning against it, but that it is not in any way contradicting faith for you to seek the help of counselors. Okay. Yes.
So this brings me to normally how people go through trials in life. People go through challenges, and then the faith among them will tell you, I'll perform ablution and pray to my Lord to give me strength and all that. That one is there. But then, how do one really overcome trials and challenges in life?
Coach White Ibrahim gave some remedies, which he said it is first of all knowing and understanding what Allah says already about the trials. He quoted verses from Quran where Allah says, does mankind think that they will be left alone without any test and trials just because they say we believe? He said, no, you will definitely be tested because the people before you have definitely been tested. All the prophets, despite that they were good people, they went through so many challenges. So challenges are not a sign that God is punishing you or that you're a bad person or that God is trying to deal with you or something. It is just what life is all about. It is what life is all about. It is only for us to learn how to cope with it. And part of it is that faith helps, seeking counseling also helps, trying to grow ourselves with knowledge also helps, because the essence of who you are, what is your life purpose, what are you here for, what is your reason for being in existence, can help you to deal with some of the trials that naturally come with life.
Allah will always compensate you rather than wallow in complaints and this pain is too much and everything. Human beings have been created to be reactionary. It's our nature to react. Don't deny it. Don't think your iman is less because you will accept the fact that you are going through pain. It's not a mark of iman to say you don't cry. Cry if you have to cry. In fact, cry and take selfie while crying. And see whether you look beautiful when you are crying. Yo, I'm crying over this problem. Let me see what my face looks like. Cry. It is not haram to cry. Emote before Almighty Allah. And Allah knows best how to compensate you for what you are crying about.
And talking about trials and tests of life, if things happen to people, I don't know, I just find it strange when somebody will be asking God, why me? Who do you want it to happen to?
Why not you?
Why not why not you? Yeah, that's the best. Why not you?
No.
Who else? But then, just like you said, challenge is test, trials, it's everybody's destiny, kind of. But everybody is being tried in different ways. So it's your ability. And within that trial too, is also Allah trying you too. Within that test, maybe probably one calamity that has befallen you, then your ability to still have faith in Him and then be able to overcome that trial or that challenge is another thing is a plus for you too. Yes,
that's what resilience is all about. And I remember Mufti Menk, no, it was still White Ibrahim that was saying that your challenges are tailor-made for you. He said whatever challenges you are facing in life, it was God designed it for you.
Okay.
And you are able to overcome it and conquer it. Because it gets to a point in life where you feel like, I can't take it anymore. I just can't continue. Why do I have to go through all this? He said, it is made for you and you can overcome it, with the right mindset and with the necessary life tools that you try to seek.
Yes.
I remember he quoted a verse of the Quran that where Allah says, La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah will not burden a soul more than what it can bear. So, and I don't know if it's counselors, but psychologists usually say what does not kill you would only
make you stronger.
What does not kill you will only make you stronger. Truly, there are some trials that you look back and you wonder, how did I actually pass through that? Which also helps you in the future, that whatever comes your way, you say to yourself, I've gone through worse and I can definitely get through this. I can get through this for the simple fact that I was able to conquer similar problems in life. This is what resilience is all about. For you to stand your ground and not let this trial destroy you, not let it break you, not let you make you totally despondent on life, because this is the point where people try to take their own life. They feel like, no, I can't continue with this life anymore. Let me just commit suicide and end it all. So resilience is your ability to be able to stand in the face of trial, to keep on pushing ahead no matter what. And Coach Aisha Dabiku also mentioned the fact that resilience goes with tawakkul. It's not enough to just trust in Allah. You also have to tie your camel. You have to tie your camel. And she gave the example of the Prophet Ibrahim and Prophet Ismail, and Prophet Ibrahim's wife Hajar, the mother of Ismail, where he left her in the desert, and naturally, any woman, if your husband goes to abandon you in a God-forsaken place, you'll be like, it's not me you are living here, you are not leaving me here, we are going together. Wherever you are going. But she stayed. She simply had to ask him, was it God that asked you to leave us here? And when he indicated yes, she said, well, God will not abandon us. This is trust in Allah. But in trusting Allah, she didn't just now sit down there and be wondering what to do, because she had a baby that was looking for food. So she stood up and began to run back and forth from the mountains of Safa to Marwa, looking for water, looking for help, looking for whoever it is that could assist them. So that is her putting in the effort.
Yes.
That tawakkul is not just for you to say, oh, I trust in God, then you fold your arms and sit down, that you come out of your problem. No, you have to make effort. That's how life is. You have to push, you have to hustle, you have to put a lot of effort to succeed. And when she did that, she got her baby started to kick, and then there was water coming out. She didn't just leave the water to just flow like that. She dammed it, and by creating that dam, according to Coach Aisha, this was what now gave us the reservatory of the Zamzam water, that forever, for hundreds of years and forever and ever till eternity, that source of water is still there.
Okay.
This is effort by a woman who was abandoned in the desert.
Wow.
So effort matters, not just tying your camel and trusting in Allah, but put a lot of effort, and you will see that your story will be told to generations to come. Yes. Because according to her, the story of Ismail and Hajar, his mother, is the story of Hajj today. It is because of them we run back and forth. It is because of them that we have that Zamzam water. It is because of them that we throw the stone at the Jamarat and things like that. So this is what living a life of purpose is.
Yes.
When you are not just resilient, not just trusting in God, but putting a lot of effort is how somebody will succeed.
Yeah, then on a very light note, just remind me when you're talking about analyzing the story of putting in effort, like during examination in school, that some people don't see that life, just pray to God. and a miracle will happen without them making effort to want to read. And then when the result comes out, they see fellow wondering, but I prayed to God during this exam, what happened, So that's what it is. So that also brings me to I wasn't really like present at that the first day of the event, but while during my running up and down, I overheard one of the, I think it was Sheikh Ademi, talked about one prioritizing mental health. And that brings me that it's true. Some people can so carry problems in their head without thinking about how it affects them personally. Their own mental health that involved. They are so good at, pursuing problems, or even they don't pursue that problem. Even problem comes up, they don't know how to resist it. They want to fight it, or maybe want to see it to the end, which indirectly will be affecting them mentally. So now Sheikh talked about one prioritize mental health. So my question how, and now it got me thinking how can one prioritize your mental health? How can you say challenge, or how can you see a problem and tell yourself that I don't want this problem to affect me. I love my mental health. I want to be healthy. It's more important to me. So how do you overcome that?
It's a matter of mindset. From what the speakers spoke, one of the lessons I can derive is that for you to really have peace of mind, you need to reframe some of your experiences and to redefine them in a way that it doesn't take away your peace of mind. Because your mental health is all about, the way your mind can cope. So for you to be able to prioritize your mental health, you need to be able to let go of a lot of things. Like you were saying, when somebody is pursuing problem, it's like you don't want to let go of the issues that are really bothering your life. You are holding on to a lot of baggage.
Yes.
You are holding on to a lot of negative feelings, and it doesn't help. By the time you occupy your heart with so much negativity, there is no how that the tranquility, serenity, peace of mind, blessings of God can come and occupy that space, because something is already occupied. So for your own peace of mind, you need to let go of a lot of things, let go of hatred, let go of anger, let go of bitterness, especially in relationships.
Because it's hard sometimes.
It's hard, especially for relationships. People think that by the time you forgive and forget, it means that person that is causing you harm, be it your spouse, or your friend or whatever it is,
Yeah.
that by the time you let go, it means that you are
been defeated, kind of.
or you are freeing them. You are saying that it's not their fault, or you are relieving them of the guilt that they should have.
Okay.
But this is not it. This is you prioritizing your mental health.
Yeah.
By choosing to let go, by choosing to forgive or forget or to remove it from your mind, you are simply relieving yourself of that baggage.
Yeah.
It's like a mountain, it's like a load that you're carrying. It's better to simply let it go and let them just go with their wahala and whatever it is. But holding on to it, it doesn't affect the other person. Somebody said hatred is like a poison that you take and you are expecting the other person to be dying. No, you are the one that will be dying because it's in you. So prioritizing mental health means letting go of a lot of negative baggage and focusing on what really matters in life. If you have a life purpose, if you have goals to achieve, if you have destiny, if you have something you want to contribute to humanity, you cannot waste your mental health too much. It has to be top notch. It has to be in order.
Yeah.
And for it to be in order, you just have to let go of
Yeah,
it.
like back then in school, my lecturer would always say, look at me. It's very slim, flat tummy, because I don't put problems in my So he believes that anybody with a big, with big tummy, that means there are a lot of problems. You carry problems and choke yourself that it now shows in your body. Anyway, that's by the way. So the last thing that I really want to talk about is how can people cope with the problems of life just the way the Prophet Muhammad did cope with it? Because from this history we heard about him, he faced so many trials, so many problems, that even what we're facing now is it's like child's play to him. And then he was able to overcome them. There was time I think he was even thrown stone at. He went through humiliated, and he still stood firm. But how do people of this present generation follow that footstep to avoid problems?
It's really hard, but the good thing is, whatever it is you are passing through today, the prophets have passed through worse than that. And I think that's a guide for us generally. Yes. Whatever your belief is, if you believe in the prophets that came before us, you should go and look and study their life, look at their lives again and study their lives. Ustad Al-Fatah Ademi was talking about the prophet, what he went through in life. Now look at him, he buried all of his children except Fatima. He's a prophet of Allah. He could have said, oh, at least leave one son for me so that I can have an inheritor, somebody that comes after me. But he was burying his son, he was crying, and he was saying, the heart is heavy, the eyes shed tears, but we'll never say anything except what pleases Allah. Which means that it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel bad, to feel depressed. But you should also always turn back to Allah, who is the one that is testing you. Look at the person that is testing you. The person testing you is Allah. So you should know that He has a good plan for you. This was the mindset that all the prophets had. They knew that whatever test they were going through, it was a trial from their Lord, and in order to be able to pass it, they had to turn back to Him in prayer. And that's why the Quran is filled with so many beautiful du'as that if you were to apply it in your life, you will be able to pass through all your challenges like a breeze. Every stage they got to, every problem they got to, they will make a specific dua, and these duas are timeless. Really, we need to go back and study them. And there was a verse of the Quran that Coach Ibrahim also quoted, where he said that we tested the people before you. Does mankind think that they will be left just because they say we believe? No, you will definitely be tested, because we tested those people before you, those prophets before you, we tested them. And so, in order to distinguish between who are the real Muslims and who are the ones that are just saying it by mouth, and he was giving an example that there are some people that are Ramadan Muslims, some people are Jumat Day Muslims, some people are Qurani Muslims. Okay, when there's an occasion, we read Quran together, or during Ramadan, okay, I pray only that time, or on Jumat Day, that's the only day I pray, but on all other days, I don't have any faith. So he said Allah wants to distinguish who are those that truly believe. So don't see your test as if it's such a great misfortune. Like you were saying that some people say why me when they have problem, but the issue is why not you? Why should it be other people? And also when you are enjoying and when things are going smoothly, why don't you say why me? During that time. When things are very much okay, going smoothly, why didn't you say why me? So the challenges are not to destroy you, they are to test you, they are to make you stronger, they are to help you to be resilient, they are to grow you. There's a level you go through. As a marriage counselor, I always tell my clients that whatever marital challenges you are facing, there's a reason for it. There is courage in every trial. You may end up being the succor for people in future. When they too are going through the same challenge, when they come to you, it looks like child's play to you because you've passed through it. And so these experiences, they only build us, they make us grow. So don't feel like, I want to have an easy life throughout my life. No, you will have challenges and you will overcome them and you will become the better for it.
Yes. No, that's fine. So, well, from what you just said now, I think I'll just leave the viewers with this statement of yours, as a take home, that it is okay to feel bad, it's okay to cry when you're in pain, but don't ever give up. Just believe that the God that made you go through that trial will never forsake you. Yes, he'll never forsake you. So don't ever give up whenever you find yourself going through a challenge, because the challenges are not there to destroy you. Use that challenge, allow that challenge to make you grow stronger and better. So I hope you get value from this video. I hope you pick something that will make you, to change whatever perspective you have about your mental health, whatever perspective you have about the challenges of life.
Resilience.
Resilience. Try to, cultivate the habit of resilience and make your life better. So don't forget to press the like button after watching this video, and it's a must watch for all, be you Christian, Muslim, whatever faith you practice. This is a video that is a must watch and you need to learn from it. So if you have any comment you need to drop or anything you need to share, please don't forget to drop it at the comment section of this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel to help we family values to keep thriving. Bye.
If your spouse is in this hall, you are not near each other, or not in this hall, type it right now, or wait, sorry, during break. Type it, how do I make you feel? When I'm with you, how do you feel? Their answer will tell you whether you're impacting on their state of mind positively or negatively. Another question you can ask is, what do you love about our marriage? What do you love about our marriage, or what do you not love? How else would you know? Observe them. What do they say? What do they not say? In casual conversations, you get these clues. The only way you will recognize and know is if you are ready to know. Because if you close your ears and close your eyes, you won't know. If you say, Dama, women, that's how they are, you wouldn't know. If you say, Dama, men, that's how they are, you wouldn't know. You have to be ready to know. And why does it matter? It matters in your hereafter, how you treat your spouse, husband or wife.
In a relationship, most people want to hear or want to express what is expected of them to express or to tell each other, and not what they really feel to express. Then I say, what if that real feeling is what hurts? How will you deal with it? Alhamdulillah, the Peace and Unity Convention 2024 has come and gone. And trust me, there's a lot of lessons learned from the whole event. I mean, a lot of take-homes. If you attended that event and you did not take anything home, wow, I must say, you missed. And if you did not attend the event, well, it's not too late. You can still go to the channel and to One Ummah channel to watch and also get your own, souvenir from there. So, to Barrister, did you attend the Peace and Unity Convention? And if you did, tell me what are the key take-homes from the event?
Alhamdulillah, the One Ummah Peace and Unity Convention 2024 for me was phenomenal. It's not every year I get to attend, so I really, it was fun for me So something I really enjoyed. I was there throughout the first day. The second I couldn't, but I made sure I watched the videos.
Yes.
And all the speakers were epic in their own rights. You know, Mufti Menk, as usual, the hall was packed full. In every hall he was in, he's a favorite sheikh. Sheikh Muhammad Salah,
Yes.
Wail Ibrahim, Wali Basuni, Aisha Dabiruku, Sister Salatu Sule, people like Temia Zubair, and back home here, our sisters Hawa Bello, Aisha Dabiruku, Coach Didi, Memuna Abdullahi, and there is so much to unpack. There are so many takeaway lessons. Just what you were saying about issue of real feelings, you know, tallies with what Sheikh Wail Ibrahim was saying in one of the panel discussions, I think on Sunday, where he was saying that, you know, the part where I think Mufti Menk was saying you should observe your spouse and try to know what is their real feeling, ask them. Coach Didi was saying just something as simple as saying, how are you really feeling, and things like that. So he's saying
it's very easy to say so, but in reality, I'm telling you, unless you understand what your wife wanted, you will not be able to satisfy her. Unless you know what your husband wanted, you will not be able to satisfy her. Observing is good, but not everyone will read between the lines. And that's why, in my opinion, the best remedy is to develop a culture of openness, open discussion, reaching out, demanding actually, you haven't told me I love you for so long. I want to hear them from you. You might buy a diamond ring for your wife, but she doesn't even like diamond rings. She likes just words of affirmation, as the book of the 5 languages of love was mentioned, which, by the way, the Prophet ﷺ had 20,000 languages of love. If you can study how the Prophet ﷺ used to treat his wives, that will be the happiness right there.
And I think to this, Didi made a response about the culture of silence in northern Nigeria, where a lot of women are actually dying in marriage and have resorted to taking drugs. I remember she made a point like this, taking drugs and substances just to cope with the pain they are feeling, because, you know, there's this conservative nature of marriages here in our climb, where you are not allowed to really say what you are feeling, and people are ending up with mental health issues, psychiatric issues, and Sheikh Abdul Fattah Adeyemi too made a lot of sense in what he was saying, even though he was trying to be real. He was saying that, okay, so, you know, there is so much that I'm still trying to read through my jottings, you know, to actually digest some of the points. In his own case, he was saying,
we don't have the opportunity to actually examine what is happening to us. And you see, this is a religion of knowledge. It's a religion of wisdom, not wisdom. No, not something you just wish will be. I wish I had a happy marriage. I wish my husband would listen to me more. I wish my wife will respect me a lot more. I wish. It's not wisdom, it is wisdom. And this wisdom comes from knowing ourselves very well, understanding and accepting ourselves and doing something about it.
Sometimes you may not be romantic throughout the marriage. The marriage is in phases. It's in phases. There is a stage of the romance part. There's a stage of, you know, nurturing these children where you don't even have time for each other. That just believe that marriage is in phases, and it should always be about how I feel, and romance and things like that. All the speakers made sense, to be honest.
And even what, according to Coach Didi, what she said about women, you know, resorting to taking drugs and all that. But sometimes, if I'm sure if you even ask some of those women, they will tell you probably they must have, you know, expressed their feelings to their husband, but he just didn't care to want to know, that to want to understand their feelings, and in order to take away that pain, they'll just resort to taking something as the only remedy to them, to, you know, to help them take that pain away from them. And there are some husbands like that. There are some husbands that are so very romantic. They understand their wives. They understand how they feel. In fact, men looking at their wives, they just know how you feel. From what Salatu Sule said, it is good to always observe your spouse's mood. You know, because sometimes you know when you're causing harm to your spouse, because you know that this wife of mine or this husband of mine used to be very lively. I mean, he's a lively person. He amuses me, and all of a sudden you see your husband or your wife, you know, start changing mood. you as a spouse, as a wife or the husband, you're supposed to like ask questions. Even if she feels she might not really know how to really want to relate it with you, like, okay, this is how I feel. Probably with the fear of not wanting to, not knowing how to do it, or not wanting to hurt you deliberately or not. But you as a husband, when you're being observant and you know your wife very well and your wife knows you very well, both of you observe each other, you know that, okay, there's something wrong. But yes,
she mentioned something. Coach Salatu Sule talked about something that feelings are not nothing. Yes. They mean something, and you should be as partners on a journey. She gave the allusion of when you are traveling a long distance journey, your travel companion has to be somebody that you like, somebody that you care about. She said you are invested in their feelings. Don't brush their feelings away, because feelings are not nothing. They mean something. And you won't know their feelings if you are the cause of the problem.
Your husband or your wife is your travel companion through life as long as you're together. And how they feel matters. The state of their mind matters, because that affects what they produce, they give to you. You are invested in how they feel. I will say this 1,000,000 times. You have an investment in how they feel. Feelings are not nothing. They are everything.
And I remember Mufti Menk saying that it's mental health. It's an issue caused by men. So it's mental health. And Didi was saying the people that are supposed to be in this, whenever we are having discussions like that, they are usually not there. It's women that we're talking about, telling about mental health, do this and do that, take care of yourself, and things like that.
Do you notice that at health and wellness hall, there were more of women than men? Like, I could say 70% of the people in that hall, the audience in that hall, were female.
And this thing happens all the time. I just observed that, because I try to go to all the halls, and my favorite hall anyway was the wellness hall. That was where I intended to be, but I briefly glanced through, and you will notice that in the wellness hall, which I think, well, not to belittle anyone, which I think was most packed with so many lessons. Women were more. Women are always so intentional about their personal development, about growing, about being the better version of themselves. In the business hall, there were many men. When Sheikh Wali Basini was speaking, I just went to listen a little, and I noticed that most men were there. I'm sure they made up their mind that the wellness hall, let the women continue listening to mental health. But for us, we are hustlers. Let's go and talk, listen to where they are talking about money. So, and then, the Yakin hall was the general hall. But for me, my favorite hall was the wellness hall. And Coach Salatu Sule also talked about if you are ready, you will know how your spouse feels, because this is very important. The way we make each other feel in marriage really matters. If you are ready, if you want to know, you will know. Don't say that, oh, that's how women are, that's how men are. And don't gaslight, because some people just brush away each other's feeling. They really don't want to care. So you will not know if you are the problem.
And she also said that if you're causing harm deliberately, if you're really the problem in your spouse's life, in your spouse's mood, you will know. If you're doing it intentionally or not, you will know, because it's both of you. Or even if you doubt it, that is not from you, ask questions.
Ask questions.
Just like why you said, it's not enough for you to just sit down and observe. Because not everybody that can really, read between the lines. Be open to communication, be open to discussion, so that both of you will sit down and table, honey, what's wrong with you? I mean, yesterday you were fine, you were all over me, but today I feel a little bit of distance. What could be the problem?
Mr. Menk said, if the relationship is not the way it was, if your spouse's mood, her behavior, the way she dresses, the way she sleeps, she's not sleeping well, things like that, find out why. He said, he even gave an example of, I think he had it, where he said,
Salman al-Farisi noticed the wife of Abu Darda would not even take pride in her dress. So the question was asked, what's the matter? And she said, well, your brother is not really interested in the world. She said the world meaning in me, because she is supposed to be his world. So from this hadith, we learn that, as Sister Salatu said, you observe, you will notice she's withdrawn. She used to talk, she doesn't talk much. She used to take pride in her dress, she doesn't take pride in her dress anymore. She's sleeping a lot of the times. These are signs of some mental, perhaps, challenge. So if the problem we face is because you may have caused it, you would not even be interested in observing. So that's the problem. But if you really care and you fear Allah, there will come a time when you assume responsibility and say, it's because of me, this laziness is happening.
If a particular spouse is not thriving personally in their mood, in the way they dress, in the way they sleep, in the way they behave, then you the other spouse, you should try to at least first, because everybody will be judged based on how we treat our spouses. Yes. And he said there are some women too that are like military dictators. Their husband will say, he said a brother told him that I fear my wife, and he's like, no, it's only Allah that we fear. So it means that the woman is a terror to him at home. Yes. We should not treat our spouses so badly that they fear us, or that they become, they don't find any joy in being with us. Yes. It makes life just miserable. And I think that was what the point Didi was trying to do, that a lot of women cannot just cope with the trauma of living with somebody that they are so resentful and bitter with because of what he has caused them, that they have to resort to taking substance. Because ordinarily you'd be like, no, why should you, because of a man? Yes. But again, at the end, there was a way Coach Abdul Fattah also ran it up, that you shouldn't also allow somebody else, as in marriage is not something you come to and you get transcendence. You just enter marriage and then everything is so rosy, you are eating with the angels, you are just enjoying life. No, he said, if you don't have ambitions, you don't have a purpose, you don't have goals, you don't have things that you want to do for humanity, you don't have any contribution for the ummah, then you will actually be depressed. Yeah. Which I think at the end of the day will be the remedy for whatever it is that people are going through. If they are able to go through therapy or counseling and they are able to heal, part of it will be forming a life for themselves. Mm-hmm. I know that, as very important as marriage is, we see it as the be-all and end-all, and our mood or the way we are is dictated based on how our spouse makes us feel. Mm-hmm. But we need to move beyond that to make Allah the cornerstone, such that however they choose to behave, they will be judged for, which Allah will judge for them for. We need to develop ourselves to such an extent that our happiness or unhappiness is not dependent on their actions and inactions. Yes.
And there's we saw the part, but I mean it's not nice to know that you have a spouse at home. I mean, you have a husband or your wife, and then you at some point you fear, especially when you hear the sound of your spouse coming, your heart skips like another problem is coming. Like this man has come again, this woman has come again. I mean, you should feel sad. You should feel bad that your spouse don't feel joy whenever he or she hears the sound of your movement coming in. He should feel happy. She should feel happy that, oh, the love of my life is coming. My angel, the crown of my head, all over me is coming, has come home. You feel joy that yes, even if you were in a foul mood before, but seeing your spouse should give you that joy, should bring back your sweet mood, should bring back that sweetness in you. That yes, the man that makes me happy is at home, has returned from work. But some homes, if you don't hear the sound of their husband or their wife,
I've heard many women say, even the children. I've heard many women say that it is so bad. They don't feel that joy. Your husband or spouse is supposed to be the coolness of your eyes, and also I think the calmness of your heart. Something that gives you serenity, tranquility, peace of mind. Yeah. But when the opposite is the case, when you are in an unhealthy marriage or relationship, there is that agitation, anxiety. Yeah. I had a friend who just came out of a toxic marriage, and she was just talking about the kind of heart, the way her heart beats so fast whenever he's around. There's no joy, there's no peace, there's no calmness. She's always agitated when she's around you. And there are some men that don't go home when they close from work because of what they know they are going to meet. So this is not healthy for marriage, which is what I think all the discussions, especially the panel discussion on day 2, was all about, with Coach Abdul Fattah Adeyemi, Mufti Menk, Coach Wail Ibrahim, Sister Salatu Sule, and moderated by Coach Didi. So it was all about, how spouses should take care of each other's mental health. Yes. Know when you are affecting your spouse's mental health. Know also how your spouse's behavior is affecting you, so that you can really get healing.
There's a part I noticed that I wish that they will talk about, which I didn't really hear them talk about. I don't know, because I wasn't there all through. That spouses are supposed to have empathy for each other. Like, put yourself in your wife's shoes. Like, if I were in this woman's shoes and this is happening to me, how will I feel? If I were in this man's shoes and this is happening, or I'm feeling this way, how would it feel like? Then I think when there's that empathy between, when there's that empathy in you between couples, I think they tend to understand each other more and work on whatever lapses or whatever, please help me.
Yes.
Whatever this thing they need to do to make sure to understand each other, to get each other, to carry each other along.
Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Yes, being so nonchalant. We have to be intentional. Yes. As Coach Wahid was saying, you have to be intentional about knowing what is healthy and what is unhealthy for marriage. If your spouse is not thriving, is not doing well, you should be concerned about it. Just like the statement Coach Salatu said, that you must be invested in how they feel. Yes. Be concerned about it so that you will know how to change. Try to find out exactly. He also spoke about the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. He said the prophet had 1,000 ways in love languages. If we see the way he treated his spouse, he wasn't somebody that would just, brush under the carpet his wife's feeling and be like, I beg, what you are feeling is not important. Yes. He was concerned about everything that they did. He will even tease Aisha sometimes and say, where is this coming from? What was wrong if she reacts in a certain way, or if she does something negative? He will even be telling somebody else that don't mind your mothers, they were only being jealous. He didn't see it as if it was a crime that they were expressing their feelings. Yes. Somebody was telling me about just showing jealousy. How a friend of hers showing jealousy was a trigger for the husband to react negatively. Yes. Because he could not understand that this is a natural phenomenon, or he did not want to understand that this is a natural phenomenon. So we should be concerned about the way men feel. Some women will disrespect their husband to the extent that he doesn't feel, that his ego, his male pride will be belittled. The same thing, some men, they don't want to understand what their wife is going through. What are you saying? I even heard of recently a man almost divorced his wife just because she showed jealousy. Of course, okay, fine. She was jealous that he wanted to, marry another woman, and which to me I feel is normal, jealousy, and I feel it's normal for a woman, as long as I have to even ask, did she do anything aside being just jealous? Did she act negatively outside that jealousy? And she said no. The only thing was just okay, fine. Even though sometimes you cannot hear from one party. It's good to hear from both sides. But then I feel attempting to do that was like out of place. That's going overboard. That's going overboard. I mean, what I expected at that moment was to sit the wife down and maybe make her understand and try to hear her own side of the pain, feel her pain points. Even though she cannot stop, of course she can't stop you from going ahead with whatever you intend to do. Sit her down to make sure you both understand each other and come to the same page. Because, and I say it again, what if he eventually succeeded in divorcing that woman? Would he have that conscience to want to go and marry that woman and come to the house, and he feels there will be peace even if she's far from the house, knowing that they won't have they have children together, and she, the wife, knowing that someone else left the house because of her? Will she be happy in that marriage? Those are the things that I believe the husband of that woman should have considered. And I think for spouses generally, we shouldn't crucify each other for whatever feelings we have or that the other person has. Let's try to find out, what is the reason for the negative feeling? Am I the cause of it? What can we do to make things better? Because dissolving a marriage because the other person is expressing his or her own feeling is just going overboard, and Allah will definitely ask us. We need to all remember that we'll be accountable to Allah for whatever we do. The long and short of the sessions on marriage and mental health, from what I got from it, is the fact that we should be very, very concerned about the way we are showing up in marriage, the way we are behaving, the way we act towards our spouse, how they feel about us. We need to even ask the question, how do I make you feel today? What do you expect to see from me? Do you feel happy being around me? So that you'll be able to show up better in marriage. And he talked about a funny incident where he sent a message to his wife saying, I love you.
I told her, I cried. So she replied me with a link. Wallahi, it's true. Some of you might have seen it because it became public. She replied me with a link. The link led to an Instagram post which says, husbands say what their wives want to hear, not what they really are doing. And they show you a little clip where the guy is messaging his wife who is on an aircraft while she is busy, and he's eating and say, I can't eat without you since you are gone. And he's eating and enjoying the food. And then she says, oh, how's everything? She says, I can't even talk without you. And then he stops talking and he's munching the food. So I went to that post and I replied there saying, my wife sent me this link and it has messed everything up for me. This post here, you know. But in the meantime, wallahi, I was being truthful, you know. May Allah forgive.
I want to add something because you guys said 2 minutes each one.
It affected my mental health.
No, that was really hilarious. And and that's true, really. Things as simple as, I love you, I miss you, how are you, I am sorry. As little as they sound, as simple as they sound, but are very expensive to some couples. Yes, do you agree with me on that? Now, when you offend your wife or your husband, some couple or some husband, some wife feel that, let me start with the wife. When you offend your husband, you feel that, what would I do to pacify this man? They have this ego, this pride of, how would I tell him I'm sorry? It feels so heavy. I didn't do anything that bad. Maybe I'm just getting a very fine pair of boxers or very fine wristwatch. That Rolex wristwatch that he likes. I wouldn't mind. I'll go pack up my savings and buy it for him. I think that will pacify him. Or my wife, wow. Yes, you offended your wife. You know she's angry at you. And you want to get her the best diamond earrings, best diamond necklace because you know she's a fashionista. But not unknown to you, that simple, I'm sorry, or come, let's talk. In fact, do you know that come alone, that's first attempt to even call your wife, my darling, come, let's talk. Whatever fire that is in our hearts, wallahi, to start quenching from that process.
Which just goes to show that sometimes you need to understand your spouse's love language. It's not about, let me do a very big gesture, a big and expensive gesture to show her. Just being a bit considerate, yes, considerate, affectionate, can actually win her over than the most expensive. I think one of the sheikhs also said this thing, that you may go and do that and buy all the flowers and a very expensive jewelry, but that's not what she wants. What she actually wants was just these little gestures of love.
Yeah, so...
and the day before, Coach Wiley Ibrahim had also taken us on the psychology of resilience and mental health. And he told a very inspiring story about his journey from the wheelchair. Yeah. How he had suffered from a spinal cord injury, or he said it was slip disc, but a very tormenting one in the sense that he didn't have just one slip disc. He had 5 slip discs. So he was like, the pain was gruesome. It was unimaginable. He said it's something that even if he prays till today, he on his Salatu, he will make sujood and beg Allah to never let him or anybody experience such pain again. It was excruciating. And then somehow he was able to get up from it. And the whole journey was the story he told us. And in fact, there was so much to learn from that story. Yeah. And while he was on the wheelchair, he wrote a book called My Wheelchair, How to Get Unstuck from the problems you have in life. And he said within 12 hours of putting that book on Amazon, it became a bestseller. And all over the world, people are using the wheelchair as an illusion, as a symbol for getting out of mental health issues. Those that are depressed, he has met a woman who was depressed, he has met somebody that had cancer, he has met, different people just reading his book and being able to recover from whatever terrible thing that they are going through. And he talked about not being fake when we're trying to encourage somebody that is in trouble. Yeah. Let us not be too fakely positive by telling the person, oh, things are going to be all right, that his turnaround came. Yeah. He fell into depression, of course, because the pain was so much, he couldn't cope with the pain anymore. So when he was so severely depressed, everybody will come to him and say, oh, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. He felt like, you are lying to me, don't lie to me. But then one of his sheikhs called him And when he was saying, I'm going to end it all, I can't take this pain anymore, he said to him, why don't you be patient? Why don't you remember the reward of patience? Like, what you are going through is valid. Your pain is real. But why don't you try to be patient in it? Why don't you remember the reward that awaits you? And he said it was then that he had a mindset shift and started to think, you know, how do I function while still being in the wheelchair? Because before he didn't want to accept it. How can I live the rest of my life, you know, on a wheelchair? Me that I used to be so active. He was even asking Allah, why will this happen to me? I'm a dai, I'm a father, I'm a man, I'm an active person. Why will I be stuck, you know, with my whole body paralyzed down? But when he got that response from his sheikh that he needed to be patient with his trial, he now wrote on a sheet of paper, my wheelchair, how to get unstuck from life challenges. And while still on the wheelchair, he went ahead and started his teaching job again. He continued his job. He tried to live even with that condition. Yes. And gradually, things became better. So that in every problem you have, you should just try to see, how do I move? How do I continue to thrive? How do I continue to function? Don't allow it to be the end of your life. And then don't feel as if, oh, you need to just get out of it today, the next minute. It will take time. It's a process. Somebody even asked me the question, what if the kind of problem you have, maybe is a health challenge, has taken 15 to 20 years? How do you give that person optimism that the person, she can still be happy? And he said, even now, he's still in pain. He is still in pain even now, but he just tries to see the light at the end of the tunnel, to see the khair in it. He was asking Allah, why did I go through this? And when he met that woman who said her entire family had an accident and they were all on wheelchair, but they read his book and it helped them, he now realized that there was a reason. There is a purpose for your pain. I like to say that there is khair in every trial. There is khair in every trial.
Really. Because some people tend to like give up when they find themselves in that pain, and some even go to the extent of wanting to commit. Let me just end it all. Let me just end it all. I mean, there's nothing left for me no more. But just like you said, care and patience, having patience and believe, be positive. Take negativity out of your thinking. Just be positive and believe that God will do it. God has a purpose for everything. Every trial comes with a purpose, and believe that that's your own trial, and it will always come to you know, to an end in a positive way. Well, I hope you got
there's too much to say.
You know,
there's too much to say about the Peace and Unity Convention.
Me, the one that really like got me, that I really want to, is even the mental health and I mean the wellness talk, the discussion that I had. So yes, I don't know if I've said this before, but if I haven't, I believe that after watching this video, you surely have a lot of take home from it. You have a lot of surveillance. But then I'll leave you with this question. Yes, just like one of the sheikhs said in the video, like, when was the last time you asked your spouse, how are you? When was the last time you told your spouse, I love you? As simple as that. If you have never done that before, and if you've never, or you've done that in a long time, please bring it back and let's see how Allah takes it up from there. Bring it back and see how your relationship takes up from there. Because I know that a lot of relationships out there that are almost on the rock, at the edge, because of simple things like this. Take pride out of your system. I know it's not something like I'm not a counselor though, but as a human and as a wife and as a mother, I think that's very important. Like sometimes that pride, they say pride comes before a fall or something. So please, let's try to, you know, I don't know if you have a last word.
Let me end with something that Sister Taimia Zuberi talked about. That if the problem you have is such that you think that people will mock you, they will not understand, take it to Allah in prayer. You are actually allowed to talk to people about it too. But always make sure you take a decisive step.
Yes.
May Allah make it easy for us to all to heal from whatever pain it is that we are going through. And we look forward to the next One Ummah Peace and Unity Convention, inshallah.
Yes. So do well to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Most importantly, please drop your feedback at the comment section of this video. What lessons you have taken from this video, please feel free to drop it at the comment section. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
And trust me, alhamdulillah, with the level of iman of some people, it baffles them that what can we do to assist the people of Palestine, to fight for the people of Palestine. And I'm asking you, Ya Sheikh, aside liking and sharing to make the world know, what else can we do for the people of Palestine?
I think, first of all, there is no human being, not only Muslim, no human being will see what is happening in Gaza to those innocent men and women in slaughter. This genocide that's taking place in front of the whole world. Not only that the world is silent, but unfortunately some political evil forces in the world justifying it. Some media outlets, it is so corrupt that they will not put it in the right frame. When they talk about, Palestinian, they say, this number of Palestinians died. Oh, there is 100 Palestinians died. But they will say, 2 Israel killed. See the word, killed. Wow. And Palestinian died. They don't use the word killed. That's a manipulating. Yeah. That's putting things in different frame. That playing with people's psychology, with words. Yeah. This kind of unfair, unjust representation of what's happening in Gaza is a shame on everyone participating to cover up for this crime, or showing any kind of rida, satisfaction with this crime. Or anyone will show, will not show anger, will not show his rejections to what's happening. We have, at least in our heart as Muslim, we have the right to be angry. We have the right to hate this. We have the right to say that is not. And that's what is Iman and Ukhuwah means. And also, beyond this, it is also our responsibility to make sure that whatever, everybody is different. I have a different role than just an average Muslim as a student of knowledge. No. I'm a student of knowledge, have a different role as different than a governor, different than a king, different than a ruler, different than minister, different than people have outlet media. Everybody has a different responsibility in front of Allah. No. But everybody should care about what I'm supposed to do, not other people do. And if I can encourage people to do the role, yes, everybody should do something. No. And one of the things that educating people about this issue. One of the things, putting a political pressure, if I can put a political pressure where I live, that my country or my society put some pressure, international pressure on the suicide or the genocide that's taking over there to stop. We should all try our best. Also help and aid, providing aid and help. But it has to be provided through legal channels that is managed and approved by the state, because unfortunately there's a lot of people who use this to either scam people or to give it to the wrong hands. And wrong hands will complicate things more than it will fix it. And in the same time, make sure that your reaction, your anger, not channel in a way that is haram also. Another mistakes, another kind of dhulm to innocent people, that also will add just more problem to the problems. One thing also we have to understand, when the Prophet ﷺ said, this ummah is like one body. When part of it is sick, the rest of the body respond. So if your head hurts or your legs hurts, your head respond. Your stomach hurts, your every muscles in your body respond. Your teeth hurts, your whole body respond. That's right, nerve. And also flip the hadith. Flip the meaning. It's correct. When one part of our ummah is strong, the rest also respond positively. It's like your body. If you have a healthy blood pressure, your body became good. When your sugar level in your blood good, you're healthy. Your muscles are strong, healthy. You're psychologically strong, your body is healthy. So that's why no matter where you live, who you're listening to me now, make sure that you're strong. Make sure that your home strong. Make sure that your community is strong, because that will make the ummah strong as well.
Allahumma barik ya Shaykh, jazakallahu khairan. Time will not really permit us, But I want to do well to ask this before I continue with the rest of the questions I have listed for you. I'm sure I've read and I've heard other scholars like you, the likes of Sheikh Wahaj Tareen, talk about what the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has prophesied about Palestine. Out of the many that are out there in books, can you please enlighten us and the Ummah about one of these prophecies of the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam?
The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us that there will be people always upon the truth, holding to the haqq until the day of judgment. And they will be around Jerusalem.
Allah.
Will be always there. In Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, before he was born, his mother saw a dream that a light came out from Mecca and went all the way to Asham. Asham, which is Palestine today.
Allah.
Okay? And the light settled there. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah said that's a proof that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam religion will remain in Sham until the day of judgment.
Allah.
And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us that Isa alayhi salam will descend and will come down and Damascus in the Masjid al-Sham, and he will with the believer pray in Jerusalem.
Allah.
And we know that the believer will be gathered there, and we know that this land will be always eventually yurithuha Allahu li'ibadihi as-salihin. Allah will give it to the salihin. It might not be in my generation time, and it doesn't matter, because nothing in my deen or Islam depends on the appearance of these signs or this land to return. My deen will be fulfilled. Whatever it takes me to go to Jannah in the hereafter can be achieved. But I want every Muslim to have that yaqeen in their heart, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have promised us a future, a beautiful future in this place, as we had a very beautiful past in this place as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring justice, no matter how long the injustice will be. And some, as we know, the darkest night, the darkest moment in the night, the one before Fajr. The darkest moment in the night, the one right before Fajr. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna ma'al usri yusra, with difficult ease. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring victory through many different forms. Victory is not only military or in a material way always. Victory comes in many different forms. And it's enough to see how people over there, with all what's happening, still their iman so strong. I don't know if many of us can go through that test. Your own children, your own family. I have one person in my community, in my masjid. He lost more than 100 from his immediate family. I have another person, 11 die in one shot, in one strike. 11 of his uncles and cousins die instantly. 11. His own uncles and first cousins. But يُبْتَلَى النَّاسَ عَلَى قَدْرِ إِيمَانِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests people according to their iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَيَتَّخِذَ مِنْكُمْ. Allah choose who be shaheed. Shahada is honor. Allah choose who the one will be shaheed. It's not what you want, it's what Allah choose for you. That's an honor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for them and to protect us.
Jazakallah khairan ya Sheikh. Before I go into your topic, which was discussed in the hall, because you said some things that were truly enlightening, and I would like us to have it on the studio here. But before I go into that, like I said, what was your impression when you landed in Nigeria, and what has it been? How has it been so far? What can you say about Nigeria?
Oh man, don't get me started. Okay, so when I accepted the invitation to come to Nigeria, first thing, I always do that, even in cities, and I visit America or any place, I always Google the country. So I get to know what are the best place, what the food, what's that. Even I start listening in YouTube about words, how to speak, Swahili, stuff like that, you know. Don't ask me. Anyway, but I try, so I kind of get familiar with it. And also, what are the culture, unique things and stuff like that. So, one of the first thing I read about Nigeria, they said it is the land of the 2 million smiles.
Oh.
So the country of 200 million smiles. No. 200 million smiles. No. The people. And that's very true. Since I came in the airport, everybody's smiling. Okay. I love that. You know, everyone's smiling, alhamdulillah. And I love smile because smile is such a beautiful thing. It shows a level of confidence, happiness, acceptance, you know, easy to approach. So this is a very good culture. You guys should keep it up. And on the top of that, sadaqah. A form of charity. Also, one thing I noticed, obviously I heard about the traffic and no rules.
That's illegal.
The rules is no rules. So I saw that. It is not as bad as expected to be because I've been to a country where very bad. But it is bad. I think there is something need to be done about that because it's not safe, you know? It just for your own safety. I think that's a culture should be kind of right to change it. Okay, food. Another big part of the culture.
MashaAllah.
Food so far so good. I have a big Nigerian community in my city, in Houston. We have the biggest Nigerian gathering in America, actually, in my city. So I was there not long time ago, so I'm familiar with the food. But surprisingly, okay, their food in Al-Mu'mineen Masjid, if they can hear me now, okay, because I know a lot of them know about Abuja, know about the conference, so they might be listening. I will tell you, in Houston, the food is way more spicy than here. Ooh. So
it's like the Yoruba people, yeah.
So that's a good because I don't like spicy food. So I was worried about it became too spicy, but it's not actually. It's something I can manage. Alhamdulillah, so far, it's very nice. I try a couple of like dish in the hotel, you know, but it is interesting to see that. Yesterday I went to the village of the culture and art here in Abuja. So I get to see some of the cultural art and stuff like that. What else? That's it. I haven't seen your rocks that everybody talk about it yet and outside the city. But also I know Lagos is a big city, has a like more of a
business,
busy and by the sea and stuff like that. But inshallah next time I will have more time to visit more cities. The north also is something like I heard great things about it as well, and I was very pleased with the quality of people I met, very dedicated, a lot of mashayikh local in the conference, something I love and I respect a lot, benefiting from the ulama in Nigeria. And I'm very happy, alhamdulillah. A lot of educated people, high education, brothers and sisters. I'm really proud of you guys. And it was also a surprise for me, like so many people think, like Muslim maybe 40% or 50%, but a lot of people have been telling me, no, actually it is at least 60%, if it's not even more, the Muslim increasing, and they are so contributing to society and taking like leadership, you know, and very harmony society too. I'm happy to hear that.
Alhamdulillah. Sheikh, before we end with Nigeria, I'm going to leave you, trust me. But would you like to try out one of the languages you try to learn? Would you like to try one out? Just try one. What did you learn? Which of the language did you learn, or which of the word did you learn?
No, man, that's hard. You know, I said earlier, I was trying to say welcome.
Okay.
What is it? Anus. Anus. That's right.
Yeah, shake it hard. Asif. Allah. All right.
I know baraka is a word that you guys use a lot.
Baraka. Okay, baraka.
Yeah, from baraka.
No.
MashaAllah. Yeah, like good morning. When somebody said good morning, say baraka. What's? Okay.
All right.
Da safe. Sabah al-khair. Sabah. Baraka da safe.
All right. So a question came from the Sisters Corner, and it will be of importance for us to look into what they have for you, inshallah. So it said, many marriages seems to be going under the rock so easily these days. what is your own opinion? What do you think is missing in marriages? You know, divorce and all of these things. What are the problems causing these issues?
I think one of the things missing, we need to be educated about marriage before we get married. You know, in our fiqh, if there's something called يعني واجب عيني, before you go to Hajj in Islam, you have to learn about Hajj. Before you start earning money, you need to learn about zakat. صح? Before you start salah or siyam, you have to learn about it. Unfortunately, nobody ever taught us about marriage. Nobody ever told us about gender relationships. We never taught. School, they don't teach that. University, don't teach that. Masjid, they don't teach that. Who teach us? Internet, friends, YouTube, movies, novels. That's what most people take their education about marriage and love and relationships. And that's just not, in my opinion, correct. And I think we need to invest more into this. Some Muslim country now, it became mandatory to have a pre-marriage counseling, like in Malaysia. And they found, even in Saudi Arabia, they didn't put mandatory, but they recommended relationships. There is studies was made and found that those marriage counseling, the rate of divorce dropped by 30%. Dropped by 30%. It helped you to know this is the right person or not. So I think that's something will help a lot.
Looking at it from the other side, that if you see somebody that left a marriage, you should congratulate them sometimes as survival of someone that will have dragged them to hellfire.
Yes, yeah.
And when you see someone that is holding on and keeping on, you should still congratulate them too. Maybe they have been able to find a way around it, and they now know that the two of them can both come back to the fire.
May Allah reward you abundantly, Sheikh, reward you and preserve you for us.
Ameen.
With this we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.
Yes, we'll have a small interaction with the sister. Yes. One or two questions.
A small break or something.
You need a break?
No, I thought there's small. No, not like that. No. What they call small snacks. I thought that was. Yeah. Let's go there. Yes, I thought I brought water. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you are not going to ask me tough questions.
No, you're not tough, inshallah. Yeah? I thought it's just him.
No, I'm okay now.
Okay.
I'm set.
Okay. Sheikh, I'll just continue. I don't need to do any introduction.
Okay.
You're live. It's live show.
Okay, sir. Recently, still on marital issues, right?
No.
Okay. Firstly, there seem to be a lot of, health issues in marriages, either from husbands or wives, especially the women. They seem to be undergoing mental and illness, mental health issues. And one will wonder why. And one want someone, especially if it is women, one want to wonder, okay, maybe is it because of the man? Or is there something missing in the marriage that they don't talk about? Because as we both know, communication is a key.
Okay, that could lead to this mental health things people talk about.
Yes, sir. So, and some couples, they like to keep their issues bottled up inside of them instead of communicating it out. So you as a counselor, what do you think could be how do you think they should relate in issues like this to avoid mental health issues? Because you said it earlier, that people should prioritize their mental health.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. Matters of marriage and mental health issue it gives off a vibe that many people are crazy now. Husbands are crazy, wives are crazy. It's quite complicated actually, especially for the modern day life that people live. Many reasons can affect people's mental health, marriage or no marriage at all. In the first place, the lifestyles we have created for ourselves, especially in this part of the world, lifestyle of wanting to be something wanting to become what people will admire.
Yes.
Many people now, we are partial or part-time narcissists in one form or the other.
Yes.
We want to show off our wealth.
Yeah.
We want to have something that we can put out on the social media. We want to wear some kind of designer things that everybody is going to reckon with. You want to show your house. You want to show a very big mansion. You think it's not good enough to show the car you have. You prefer a bigger car. And then you think you want to show off some things to people who don't even care
Yes.
about what your life is all about. Some lifestyle things that we have created by ourselves, we put so much stress and tension or problem in this regard. And this has been brought into matters of getting married in the first place. Oh, I don't know, can I introduce this man as my husband? What does he have? Who is he? Who are his friends? How trendy he is?
Yeah.
What is he doing with his life? You know, those kind of things. I don't know if I can present this woman. She's not a medical doctor. She's not an engineer. She's not a pilot, female pilot. She's not a soldier. Those kind of things create a lot of tension.
Yeah.
And stress up people's life. So stress, that's another thing that these lifestyles have brought our way.
Okay.
So husband is stressed, wife is stressed. The husband goes to work 9 to 5. The wife goes to work 9 to 5. They both earn salaries. Salaries are not enough. In fact, they say salaries are made in China. They don't last. And some get it's not alive anymore. Yeah, and some people, if the salary is an opium, it's like a drug. You get high when you just receive salary. After a few days, then you get depressed again.
Yes.
You wait till another month and you get high again. They say people are addicted to salaries. All of these things combined, then if you want to be an entrepreneur, well, business today, business tomorrow, you are not trying to build a business. You just want to own a business, and they say your business $1 million.
Yes,
These are the kind of things
Okay.
that our lifestyle of capitalism, our lifestyle of upstairs.
Okay.
Another thing that could be responsible for that is the way people age. Most couples don't consider changes in our lives as we grow. And so they are not ready to adapt to these changes. Let's say a couple that are just married now, they started having children, they have just started having children.
Yes.
The toil of bringing up a child for a mother to look after a toddler till when that baby is big enough to take care of him or herself, it's a whole lifetime job on its own.
Okay.
But some women will think they have not achieved well enough. Their own life has been put on hold because they are looking after a child. She wanted to do her master's. She wants to do it outside the country. She wants to build her business. She's an entrepreneur. She wants to pursue her career so that she becomes director in her place of work. She wants to write exam for her promotions. And she wants to satisfy herself, her family, her husband, everybody.
Okay.
All of that stress.
Boyfriend had a birthday party celebrated in the class, and the boyfriend was just spraying money, you know.
Oh,
so now do we not really
alone? We also put it on the society. We put it on the teachers. We put it on the educational system. And we put it on the children themselves.
Okay.
Because it's not, they don't represent all of the children in that school, for instance.
Okay.
There are some of their colleagues who don't like what they were doing, who don't like what those ones were doing.
Yes.
That same birthday in the school. It's a very complicated matter. The educational system in Nigeria.
Okay.
This is just one of the so many other schools that are very upright and steadfast.
Okay.
Well, luckily enough, you may say that the video didn't show that it was an Islamic school.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean worse cannot happen in Islamic school.
Okay.
Some Islamic school.
All right.
Teachers understand this very well. You can have 100 students, maybe 1 or 2 of them may not do the right thing. Just like a shepherd, you can have 100 animals under your watch. 1 or 2 of them may go astray once in a while. So it's a very sorry picture to see, but I do hope that they are going to make adjustments. It's just part of the things that are happening in the society that we should not pretend as if we don't know about.
Yeah.
Many things are happening.
All right. Thank you very much. It's nice
Alhamdulillah.
having you with us in the studio, and we hope we'll get your attention at any time whenever the need arises.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. Let's hope there will be one ummah tomorrow again.
Of course there will.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now?
Okay. You want to take a picture?
Oh, okay. Are we live?
Yeah, we are live. Please don't push me. There's something.
What is that?
This is what we are doing. No problem. No. I'm using the wide angle camera.
On the ground. This one, people have plenty here.
You can even use this chair. Yes. You are the one.
Can I show in the picture?
Yeah, you will show. Previously, that's another one. That salam didn't do our mouth very well. Tuwo and egusi. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think I'm free now.
Yeah.
Sure, the first year.
I know this is
Please
business.
carry this for me. I'll be going now. I have appointments.
No, I'm coming from the studio. Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much.
Most of them were given like the horror movie titles. Oh my god. It is fun in a way, but it's not fun because there's this particular person who was really interested and they said his life is full of fun and there was a word or as sadness or something like that. And when he was saying it, you could see the sadness in his face. Definitely there's something but so us as parents, we know our children. We know what they're into. We just give them with laptops, phones, TVs, or friends to guide them. We need to know who our children are. Because I can remember him saying the parents out there, they need to jot down what those children are seeing. They might say it, but they actually mean it. So we need to know who our children are. They learn a lot now from media.
I went to Michael. I don't know about
We need to be very intentional. We need to be very, very intentional about our children, about upbringing, about being close to them. Because I think that this family is really a big problem because I see, I think there was a time someone was talking about how many hours they take or a tablet, so to say, because children most of their time in school, and then when they come back, the time they have to spend with their parents.
Okay, you can look at this camera. But then it's a conversation. Except you maybe have a special message to pass across. Then I'm just look at the camera. But then for now, yes.
So can I do salam to you or good afternoon or good evening?
I'm a Muslim. So salam.
I've been ready since.
Okay, we can start.
Okay, people are done. I'm waiting for.
Okay, so Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mashallah, please can we get to know you?
Okay, I'm Shukra. I'm representing Marquis Concierge.
Mashallah, what does Marquis Concierge do?
Okay, Marquis Concierge, from the concierge name, we're a concierge service provider. So we do general concierge service and then halal concierge service. So out of the halal service, halal concierge, Hajj and Umrah is one of our flagship service. So mostly when people hear Marquis, they say, oh, they do Hajj and Umrah. So yeah.
It's like I did my visa with you people, my Umrah visa.
Almost like actually your name, actually recognize it.
Yes, yeah, it is now that it clicked on me that I did my Umrah visa with you. Okay, mashallah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So my next question, why have you been consistent with sponsoring the PUC?
Yeah, I mean, one Umrah is probably the largest convention of Muslims in Nigeria, and then literally what we do is, you know, conveying people to the largest gathering
Audience
of Muslims on earth. So I mean, it just, you know, it's just like a house in a gathering
where your
of
target
Muslims.
markets.
Yes.
If I may say. Okay, that's nice. So how has it helped in the growth of your business and also interaction with people?
Okay, yeah, I mean, this is the largest gathering of Muslims, you know, apart from Friday Jumu'ah Masjid. So, you know, you come, definitely our target audience are here. And I can say each time we've been sponsors for as long as I can remember. And I can say every time we come here, we get clients that's, because, you know, when we come, we share flyers. Sometimes we're able to get phone numbers of some contacts. So people call, oh, I got your flyer at one Ummah. So yeah, it's been impactful.
And one thing I can say from my experience is you're very reliable.
Yes, we are.
And swift as well. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So in respect of the Hajj and you do Hajj and Umrah, right?
Yes, we do.
So when somebody wants to book for either, do you just do visa or you have to do the full packaging, or just tell us?
Okay, yeah. We're concierge, we give you whatever you want. We can give you in pieces. Like you said, you've done your visa with us. So you can get that, or you can get your full package with us. And we have normal group packages who have an offer, and then you can also come, tell us what you want, we tailor to your needs, and alhamdulillah, we've been able to deliver.
Okay, so do you do like a group, like Umrah group, or?
Yes, we do every month. We have ongoing group trips every month. We have for Ramadan, we have for Hajj, and then you can come and say, I want to go on these dates, then we'll customize for you.
Okay, are there any discounts, like, okay, maybe I want to?
Yes, actually, every time we come for one Ummah, we always have 5% or 10% discount for people that register here.
Okay, so mashallah, that's nice. I hope I'll be able to go with my one Ummah media team someday and have 20% discount,
inshallah,
so that we'll all go inshallah for the ibadat. Jazakallah khair for your time.
Thank you for having us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Hey God. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
I like that water for us.
They only have fan and AC. Okay, I brought my bag here.
You and Amina. Let me go and look for water.
How are you using the man?
Oh.
Okay. I think I have your mic here.
Welcome, Mustafa. What do you want to talk about?
Is it Amina or Sharu too?
Wait,
Page 3 then. Again.
Page 3? Then what talk about? What is it?
Boss.
Boss, waiting there happy.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's already past 5, and today's event is coming to a close. And in as much as I'm exhausted, I cannot wait to come back here tomorrow and experience the unity, the calmness in the chaos, the beauty of people. You know, there's a thing about people coming together. I don't know whether or not you know everyone. Seeing people gives you some sort of peace. You feel at ease. I don't know if it's just me, but I love the chaos, and it gives me this calm. And that is why tomorrow I am looking forward to coming back here and continue to be calm in all the chaos. What has been the highlight for you? What has been the most interesting thing? I understand that you presented for the Pitch to Win. How was that?
At first I was a bit nervous because I think that was my first time presenting in front of such a large crowd. But I think after a while I kind of got into it because Pitch to Win has been kind of something that I've been passionate about for quite a few months. So to get to share with such a large crowd of people was actually quite touching to my heart, and to see how many people were invested in it, how many people seemed to be taken by the idea and wanted to be involved in it. It was great, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. So aside that, is there any other thing that was like interesting to you? I understand that you're a huge fan of Walid Basyuni. So how was it? Were you in the hall when he was giving his lecture?
So I was in the hall when he gave his lecture in the afternoon about family dynamics, and I feel like his lecture really touched me because he not only talked about his own personal experiences, but he also touched on the Prophet and how he interacted with his family and his wives. And it was beautiful to also learn more about how the Prophet ﷺ was with his family, not to just know him as a prophet, mashallah, but as a father and a husband as well. It was wonderful, and I also got to be present when he was here for the studio session, so it was quite surreal, and he seemed like a very genuine character.
Personally, yeah, family dynamics is also my most favorite for today's lectures, and I think he spoke about quality time, and with the way the whole thing keeps going, the digital age and all of that, I feel like it's made it really hard for us to with our families, and I just feel like more of that needs to be discussed. We need more people to talk about time management and how we can put in spending quality time with our families into our schedules. Because just now we were talking about how a lot of parents do not have time with their kids. And before you know it, they're all grown, they're adults, and they cannot wait to be out of your space. I mean, how we treat our children comes with whether or not they want to spend more time with us. I know sometimes it's not that way, but I think a lot of the time it is, because if I don't feel connected to a certain thing, I wouldn't want to keep going back to it. So what's your take? What do you think can be done differently for us to begin to see that spending quality time is very important for us, and rather than spending it on our digital devices and social media and whatnot?
Well, alhamdulillah, I'm glad that you brought this up, because I remember when I was a child, we didn't really have like iPads or tabs. Like, it was just TVs. Even the TVs, they were those box TVs. Like, there was a limited amount of time for TVs. So I, as a writer, I think I developed that passion for writing from a very young age, because I wasn't limited to a screen. I was out in our backyard gardening. I was indoors all those things. I feel like if I had been limited by a screen, I wouldn't be able to do all of that. And I also remember when I was young, our dad used to take us out almost every weekend, really, for outdoor activities, to like the swimming pool, to the beach and things like that. And I feel like parents of nowadays is more like a shock to me, really. I see how
all of that
when
is
you're at
missing.
home, everybody's on their gadget, the kids are on their tabs, the parents are on their phones. Like even when you're sitting down to eat, like everybody has one gadget or another. And I don't mean that gadgets are bad in a sense, because they do have their benefits and they do have their good points. There are so many essential skills that you could learn on your devices. But there are times in a day when you need to just say stop and like take a break,
screen
breathe,
time,
like reflect on the day, get to know your children. Like you said, before you know it, they're old and you can't get back that time.
You can't.
When you need it the most, like you barely have any form of connection. So we need to savor the moments while we have them. And those moments can be created by looking at screens. You're supposed to be looking at the people that are right there with you, because you don't even know when, as I feel like we don't know when we could die or when we could part with our loved ones. We have to make most of the time that we have right now.
MashaAllah, I think that you said something about going out, like your dad taking you out every weekend, which I think is interesting, because right now it's really hard for you to see families planning to say, oh, okay, we're going to go out every weekend, we're going to go to this place this weekend and go to another weekend, because when the weekend comes, I don't know if times change. Oh, of course, times are changing, but I still feel like we can be intentional about going with the change. We can do list, because as a person who works a job, I really just want to either do all the things that I wasn't able to do during a unit of family. Like if you have a family, I feel like you need to make intentional goals. I don't know if goals is the word to use, but like the word isn't coming. You have to be intentional about how you want to spend that time with them, because I'm always of the opinion that once these kids become adults, they do not want to hear anything else. It's either they're in the uni or they just want to even move out of your house. Do you understand how bad it is with this generation? It's really bad. No, it's bad. It's our generation, but I'm going to say that it is really, really bad. And when he spoke about that quality time, it kind of touched me, because I felt a bit guilty as well, because I mean, I'm of the generation. I'm always on my phone. I'm not going to lie. And there are days I decide, okay, I'm going to take 2, 3, 4 hours of social media. I'm going to drop my phone. It feels like it is hard for us to drop our phones are right there in front of us. I mean, sometimes you even go out with your friends. I mean, it's so bad that you stay on your phone for the time you're spending with them. And I think that that's the craziest thing, because you can meet with a friend you haven't seen in years. And trust me, I'm saying this from experience, maybe the first 30 minutes is the only time you guys have real conversations. And you can spend the rest of the 2, 3 hours
on your
showing yourself memes and videos on your phone. That's how bad it is. And I feel like we need to do so much. We need to educate ourselves, first of all, because before you begin to educate other people, you have to educate yourself. You have to be self-aware. Like me, I'm self-aware. I know where my problem is, and I would try to, before I even come and say, oh, okay, you know what, I need to speak to other people about it or advise other people about it. So I think being self-aware and trying to work towards being better is going to help us and it's going to go a long way. But I think that it is very important for us to really, really, really change the narrative. Honestly, it is important.
So going back to your point on us constantly being on our gadgets and how we're supposed to be the ones that are leading by example, basically. I am also a victim. I know I grew up without the technology, but especially I slipped and fell. What was I doing? I was on my phone while on so if I was on my phone, I probably wouldn't have missed that stair. Like it gets there's some you're kind of incomplete, and it's not even as like young adults anymore. Teenagers, 13, 14-year-old, like,
because you're a child. To me, a 13-year-old is a child. No offense. I don't have a child, but trust me, a 13-year-old is a child and needs to be treated as a child. Yes, I understand that. I meant, how much supervision do you give to those kids? Because I see really young people, Facebook and whatnot, Snapchat most especially, and I'm like, okay, are their parents even aware? So that's the supervision I'm talking about. You give them a gadget, you give them Wi-Fi, and they tell you that they are doing their homework.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they are doing other things. So the fact that the gadgets, the Google is there for them to do their homework, Google it. Because in my head I was like,
what is this?
Why is this coming up? Or they come home with 5, 6 homework. Why did they send them to school in the first place? Yes, it's good to test it, if they understand what you've taught them, but coming home with 6 assignments or homework is far-fetched, is a lot.
And in shaping the next
they
generation.
play a huge role. No, like, let's not even say back home at 3 or 4 p.m. because there's extracurricular activities or lessons, they call it. What time? They spend most of their time with the teachers, and what are the teachers doing?
Look at what
I think I read a tweet. I don't know if it's a tweet or I saw it on Instagram about a teacher saying that how did they put the English? Was it that okay, yeah, it's speaking to the parents actually. It's saying that the children spend most of their time in school, but it does not mean that the teachers are solely responsible for making sure that the children behave. So funny story about that. When I read it, it was so funny to me because I met someone who teaches in a school in Kano. You're from Kano, right? And she was complaining about how they suspended this child that was in SS2 for sexually harassing his teacher. Yeah. And then when they called the father, his response was, I do not pay you such huge amounts of money to not know how to teach my child to behave.
What?
Yes. So in essence, he feels like, oh, I pay you and my child spends so much time in school. It is your responsibility alone to make sure that my child behaves. Meanwhile, that's not the case. I'll give you an example. For me, who is from the northern part of Nigeria, not is specifically Yobe State, where we don't really go to school. If you go to school and you're being taught in English, trust me, if you go back home, I'm not saying that people do not get quality education, but the problem begins to come up when you go home, they don't really speak the English for you now.
Yeah.
And you go to a very expensive school, unless of course your teachers put in so much and extra effort to make sure that you're a good student. Otherwise, they speak English in school, you come back home to pure Hausa or maybe your language. It's either you start to mix it up or your English is bad, or
both of them
are bad. Exactly. So it means that if the teachers are doing 60% work, the rest of the 40% that you have to work for has to be intentional. You have to make sure that you're doing it and you have to be diligent about it, because you can't tell me that, oh, because you're sending your child to school and okay, when they come back home, that's it. They've taught them everything that they need to know. No, the teacher teaches them what is in the book.
you teach them other things like values.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where a lot of people or parents get it wrong. Because honestly, I think I've said enough and a lot right now, because if I go on.
Funny enough, when you mentioned how parents only teach you your base language and they expect you to learn the English in school. In my case, I started school when I was 4. I knew how to speak exactly 0 English.
Okay.
My first day, I needed to go to the bathroom and I was struggling to communicate.
Oh my
how I was going
goodness.
to
So
go
you
to the
see,
bathroom.
you even have an experience.
Yes, I was so confused as to
how to say it.
The words were not even coming out of my mouth. Because my mom was just under the impression, okay, Hausa, they're not going to teach you Hausa in school.
Right.
But English, that's what they're going to teach you primarily in school. So there's no need for her to teach me any English anyway. So I'll just learn it there when I get there. But like you said, it has to be in fact, parents should have like 70% and teachers are just there to give you the educational guidance that you need.
Yeah.
That's why you have so many different characters in one school setting. People that would even shape how you as a person evolve and grow. Because I remember, I think I was in primary 3. I had my first like severe encounter with a bully. He was my seatmate. We used to share the same desk. He would stop me from putting my elbow on the desk and he would hit my hand if I did it. I was going to tell the teacher and he threatened me.
At primary 3?
He said that he would hit me if I told my teacher. It got so bad that I didn't want to go to school anymore.
Oh my.
My mom had to pressure me into telling her what was going on. And I had to summon up the courage because I wasn't a very vocal person. I summoned up the courage to tell my teacher. But when you look back on it, he had problems back home. His dad was a violent person.
Most bullies, I would say most.
So, like, although he has, mainly it's his dad's this thing because it's what he sees that he's translating.
He had an abusive dad.
That's what he's doing to people around him. And that's not something that you can say, oh, you're going to just put on the teachers to show him that that's wrong. Because when he goes home, that's what he's going back to. Duty. We're the primarily ones in charge of shaping how our children are raised. Because at the end of the day, on the day of judgment, Allah is not
Nobody's going to look for the teachers.
Or
Nobody.
the people in the community. It's you,
It's
the father
you,
and
it's
the mother,
you,
that
the
are going to
father and the
ask, what did you do to make sure that your child was raised right? What did you do to make sure that your child is somebody that the Prophet ﷺ would be proud to call a member of his ummah?
You know, when you talked about asking the community or the teachers, growing up, your neighbor was allowed to scold you, sometimes even beat you up for doing something wrong. But these days, you can't even try it. I mean, there's no even sense of community to begin with.
Everybody does.
Everybody is living in one estate or another, and nobody is worried about the next person. You see your neighbor's child doing something, and simply because, oh, that's my neighbor, we don't even talk, she doesn't greet me or something like that, you just let the child do whatever they are doing or whatever it is they were doing, even if it is wrong. And I feel like that sense of community is very important. We need to build it again and make sure that it works.
Yeah.
Because if I see a wrong thing, I should be able to correct it regardless of how the other person's parents is going to feel about it, right? It's anybody. You're not even allowed to correct another person's child because whatever the child goes back home to tell their parents is exactly what the parents are going to believe, and then it comes back to you. So even me personally, I'm not going to lie. There are lots of times I see things and I'm like, it's none of my business. And that's not how it's supposed to be in truth.
No.
Like, we're supposed to have this sense of community togetherness and be able to grow our community together. He said, I'm tired.
No, you're bringing you another guest.
See live.
I was in the mood.
Yeah, so like I was saying, we need to build that sense of community so that we begin to see changes. But I think that a lot of people have lost hope in change.
Honestly.
I don't know if it's just a Nigerian thing, but a lot of people feel like change is far from us because things keep evolving, things keep changing.
In the negative.
But I mean, I feel like with intentions, with diligence, we can, yeah, like the topic or the theme, recovery, we can recover.
Yeah.
I believe that we can recover from a lot of things. I mean, not everything, obviously, but there are certain things that if we put in place and fix, things are going to work out for us as a community and as a country.
Yeah. And of course, change is not limited to one person or one group of people. We can't just say that, oh, if our leaders aren't doing things the way that we expected, that, oh, that just means that we're doomed. Because change starts from us as individuals. We have to, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, that He will not change a situation of a person until they change their own selves. So you have to make that first decision. You have to take that first step. And I also feel like that sense of community, it has really died down, because I think I had a conversation a while ago with my sister that was telling me that she doesn't even know her neighbors. She's been living in the house for almost 5 years now. She says she doesn't even talk to them. They don't even know each other. I don't think she's met them more than like a handful of times. And she was like, what's the need? And I was like, I don't...
every need.
Because I think I remember during our parents' time, like they were all very close-knit. Like if you had a problem, if there was something you needed help, you could always go to your neighbor and they could help you and assist you. And like you said, the community, they used to have a hand in raising the kids.
Right.
And even the Prophet ﷺ said that if you see something wrong, like if you can't change it with your actions, try to change it with your words. Like you have to actually do something, that you shouldn't just turn a blind eye or turn a cheek.
But that's what we're doing these days.
But how do you even do that these days when you don't even know who you're communicating with? And if you were to try, they might even take it as offensive, or you're questioning them.
You can get arrested.
Like, it's really hard to navigate this new world. But yeah, definitely the world is changing, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And instead of trying to dwell in the past or the currents that we think that we should be living, we should try and adapt and adjust to that change as well, and try to make the best of it.
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting fact. When are they cutting? When are you cutting? People have to cut though. We don't have anything to talk about again.
Of course, the line.
All the topic where they are don't finish.
Who's coming up next?
Their own life has been put on hold because they are looking after a child. She wanted to do her master's. She wants to do it outside the country. She wants to build her business. She's an entrepreneur. She wants to pursue her career so that she becomes director in her place of work. She wants to write exam for her promotions. And she wants to satisfy herself, her family, her husband, everybody. All of that stress.
Boyfriend had a birthday party celebrated in the class, and the boyfriend was just spraying money, you know.
Oh,
so now do we not really
alone? We also put it on the society. We put it on the teachers. We put it on the educational system, and we put it on the children themselves.
Okay.
Because it's not, they don't represent all of the children in that school, for instance.
Okay.
There are some of their colleagues who don't like what they were doing, who don't like what those ones were doing.
Yes.
That same birthday in the school, it's a very complicated matter. The educational system in Nigeria.
Okay.
This is just one of the so many other schools that are very upright and steadfast.
Okay.
Well, luckily enough, you may say that the video didn't show that it was an Islamic school.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean worse cannot happen in Islamic school.
Okay.
Some Islamic school.
All right.
Teachers understand this very well. You can have 100 students, maybe one or two of them may not do the right thing. Just like a shepherd, you can have 100 animals under your watch.
Yeah.
One or two of them may go astray once in a while. So it's a very sorry picture to see,
Yes.
but I do hope that they are going to make adjustments. It's just part of the things that are happening in the society that we should not pretend as if we don't know about.
Yeah.
Many things are happening.
All right. Thank you very much. It's nice
Alhamdulillah.
having you with us in the studio, and we hope we'll get your attention at any time whenever the need arises.
Inshallah. Thank you
Have a
very
good
much.
day.
Let's hope there will be one ummah tomorrow again.
Of course, there will.
Thank you very much. Now?
Okay. You want to take picture?
Oh, okay. Are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
Please don't push me, there's something.
What is that?
This is what we are doing.
No problem. I'm using the wide angle camera.
On the ground. This one, like, people have plenty here.
You can even use this chair. Yes. You are the one.
Can I show in the picture?
Yeah, you will show.
Let's have this. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Previously, that's another one. That salam didn't do our mouth very well. Tuwo and egusi. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think I'm free now.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Fauziya,
I know this is
please
business.
carry this for me.
And
I'll be going now. I have appointments.
no, I'm coming from the studio. Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much.
Most of them were given like the horror movie titles. Oh my god. It is fun in a way, but it's not fun because there's this particular person who was really interested and they said his life is full of fun and there was a word or a sadness or something like that, you know? And when he was saying it, you could see the sadness in his face. Definitely there's something but so those are terrible our children. You know what they're into. We just give them with laptops, phones, TVs, you know, or friends to guide them. We need to know who our children are. Because I remember him saying the parents out there, they need to jot down what those children are seeing. They might say it, but they actually mean it. So we need to know who our children are. They learn a lot now from media.
I went into Michael. I don't have a
Actually, exhausted. We need to be very, very intentional about students, about upbringing, about being close to them. Because I think that this sound is really a big problem because I see, okay, I think there was a time someone was talking about how many hours they or it's happening, so to say, because a lot of children spend most of their time in school, and then when they come back, the time you have to spend with your parents.
Okay, you can look at this camera. But then it's a conversation. Except you maybe have a special message to pass across. I'm just look at the camera. But then for now, yes.
So can I do salam to you or good afternoon or good evening?
I'm a Muslim. So salam.
I've been ready since though.
Okay, we can start.
Yeah, you are the one I'm waiting for.
Okay, so Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mashallah, please can we get to know you?
Okay, I'm Shukra. I'm representing Marcus Concierge.
Mashallah, what does Marcus Concierge do?
Okay, Marcus Concierge, from the concierge name, we're a concierge service provider. So we do general concierge service and then halal concierge service. So out of the halal service, halal concierge, Hajj and Umrah is one of our flagship service. So mostly when people hear Marcus, they say, oh, they do Hajj and Umrah. So yeah.
It's like I did my visa with you people, my Umrah visa.
Almost like actually your name, actually recognize it.
Yes, yeah, it is now that it clicked on me that I did my Umrah visa with you. Okay, mashallah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So my next question, why have you been consistent with sponsoring the PUC?
Yeah, I mean, one Umrah is probably the largest convention of Muslims in Nigeria, and then literally what we do is, you know, conveying people to the largest gathering
Audience
of Muslims on earth. So I mean, it just, you know, it's just like a house in a gathering
where your
of
target
Muslims.
markets.
Yes.
If I may say. Okay, that's nice. So how has it helped in the growth of your business and also interaction with people?
Okay, yeah, I mean, this is the largest gathering of Muslims, you know, apart from Friday Jumu'ah Masjid. So, you know, you come, definitely our target audience are here. And I can say each time we've been sponsors for as long as I can remember. And I can say every time we come here, we get clients because, you know, when we come, we share flyers. Sometimes we're able to get phone numbers or some contacts. So people call, oh, I got your flyer at one Ummah. So yeah, it's been impactful.
And one thing I can say from my experience is you're very reliable.
Yes, we are.
And swift as well. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So in respect of the Hajj and you do Hajj and Umrah, right?
Yes, we do.
So when somebody wants to book for either, do you just do visa or you have to do the full packaging, or just tell us?
Okay, yeah. We're concierge, we give you whatever you want. We can give you in pieces. Like you said, you've done your visa with us. So you can get that, or you can get your full package with us. And we have normal group packages who have an offer, and then you can also come, tell us what you want, we tailor to your needs, and alhamdulillah, we've been able to deliver.
Okay, so do you do like a group, like Umrah group, or?
Yes, we do every month. We have ongoing group trips every month. We have for Ramadan, we have for Hajj, and then you can come and say, I want to go on these dates, then would customize for you.
Okay, are there any discounts, like, okay, maybe I want to
Yes, actually, every time we come for one Ummah, we always have 5% or 10% discount for people that register here.
Okay, so mashallah, that's nice. I hope I'll be able to go with my one Ummah media team someday and have 20% discounts.
Inshallah.
So that we'll all go, inshallah, for the ibadat. Jazakallah khair for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Salam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Oh God. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go and put water for us.
They only have fan and AC. Okay, I brought my bag here.
You and Amina. Let me go and look for water.
How are you using the mic?
Okay, I think I have your mic here.
Welcome, Mr. What do you want to talk about?
Is it Amina or Shabu?
Wait, pitch 3 then. Again.
Pitch 3? Then what talk about?
Boss. Boss, waiting there happen.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's already past 5, and today's event is coming to a close, and in as much as I'm exhausted, I cannot wait to come back here tomorrow and experience the unity, the calmness in the chaos, the beauty of people. You know, there's a thing about people coming together. I don't know whether or not you know everyone. Seeing people gives you some sort of peace. You feel at ease. I don't know if it's just me, but I love the chaos, and it gives me this calm. And that is why tomorrow I am looking forward to coming back here and continue to be calm in all the chaos. What has been the highlight for you? What has been the most interesting thing? I understand that you presented for the